Well, good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you today. It's been a little while since I've done one of these opportunity videos for you, and I'm so delighted to be hailing from Utah. We've been traveling around the country looking at schools with my senior high school son, Eddie Lesher, and we're actually going to California tomorrow. So it's pretty exciting to be at this stage in our lives where we're sending our only child off to college. And anyway, just being in this business and being able to work from anywhere around the country has just been something that I've learned to appreciate so much more than I did when I got involved in this company in the beginning. So today I'm going to just tell you a little bit about my background and then talk to you about what I'm excited about and so many of us on this webinar today are excited about. So I have had a background in financial services. I've been involved in the insurance industry for about 30 years, and about 5 years ago I learned about the information that I'm going to share with you tonight. And it has completely changed my life. I think a lot of you guys know that I have had some health conditions personally with something called Lyme disease. And that is something that attacks all of the organs, all of the joints, and essentially ages you prematurely. And there's nothing you can do to get rid of this condition, if you will. And it's from an insect bite, from a deer tick. And so I've had that for about 20 years. And it led me down a path that was different than the traditional medical path that most of us, really the system that we have of medicine in the United States is just to kind of give a drug to somebody to try to fix something. But with Lyme disease, the only thing they can do is give you antibiotics, which ultimately just destroy your stomach, your gut, your immune system. And so after a while, I couldn't take those anymore, and I needed to find another solution. So I ended up getting very interested in this category of holistic medicine, and also just the area around where genetics are actually going to show that our body can utilize different things to heal itself. And so this is a new category. It's something called Nutrigenomics. And so I started on this road of what we call biohacking, which is looking at your biology and saying, what foods, what nutrition can I give myself in order to try to heal, and in my case, this condition of Lyme disease. I also have a history in my family of a lot of very bad health, cardiovascular disease on my dad's side and my mother's side, and also cancer. My father died when he was my age. I'm 56 years old. He died in 1994, and he was, by all means, a very healthy guy that worked out, but he ended up getting cancer, and it was just terrible. I watched him just erode before my eyes. And I made a decision at that point because helping my dad to try to get better, he was willing to do anything at that point. They really couldn't do anything for him. He had cancer for about 10 years, and he lived much longer than he was supposed to because we actually went down a different road and used a lot of more holistic approaches. So I got really interested in this. It's a huge category, and I ended up getting involved in a company called LifeVantage. And I want to share with you guys a slideshow tonight that will give you some more information on what I'm really excited about. And I think, most people are open to today to different ways of healing, and they're also open to different ways of doing business. And I think that that the world is shifting because of technology. We can take advantage of that. We're gonna capitalize on that absolutely in the business I'm going to share with you tonight. We're going to capitalize on how technology is changing the way we do business. We're also going to capitalize on how technology is changing the way we're going to age in the future, and how products are being developed that actually can prove that you can actually have the body get back to a state of optimum health and optimum performance by food and nutrition and plant-based nutrition. And this is a whole new area. And in this company, LifeVantage, we're really a part of this, and we're leading the way. We're pioneering this conversation. And I want to show you guys a short video. I know many of you have seen this, but I do have new people on tonight. This was an ABC News report that aired in 2005. And it is something that is very important in terms of the history of the company. And John Quinones, 7-time Emmy Award-winning investigative reporter, did an investigative report on a supplement. And I'm going to show this to you right now. This is still something that is blowing people's minds. Every time I watch it, I get excited. So have a look at this, and then I'll talk to you about what we're doing with this information.
Turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Can we scoop? Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
As it's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me? Well, perhaps. It turns out there is some other promising evidence that seems to back up Dr. McCord's findings. That evidence comes from mice that have been genetically engineered to produce more catalase, one of the enzymes that Protandim increases. The researcher, Dr. Douglas Wallace of the University of California at Irvine, says it had a remarkable effect.
We found that they lived, in fact, about 20% longer, which is about a fifth of a lifespan.
He believes that with better techniques, human lifespan can eventually be extended too.
We might be able to increase the lifespan of a mammal by 50%. And of course, if that was a human being, then that might be in the order of 130 to 150 years.
The scientific evidence is there. The pieces seem to make sense. The question is, does this translate into something that humans can take advantage of?
So just what's in this seemingly
So I'm going to cut it off there. And if you want to see that whole news report, whoever invited you on here can share that with you. I want to kind of keep this a little bit tight. So this is an area that has evolved now since that news report aired. It's called Nutrigenomics. And Nutrigenomics is the area of science that looks at plants and dietary components that can actually change the expression of your genes. Your blueprint is your DNA, and that is only about 2% coded, believe it or not. And they're finding more and more out about this, and that we can actually set forth in motion changes to our gene expression that will help protect our bodies from getting diseases and also other conditions, just from not being able to sleep well, things like headaches, just all kinds of problems that everybody's dealing with on a daily basis, anxiety. All of these things can be mitigated by certain foods and plants now through this area of nutrigenomics. And we're going to be learning more and more about this in the future. And there's another word that our company has picked up on, which is called biohacking. You're looking at your biology and you're saying, what can I do to reprogram that blueprint? What can I do to make changes and hack in a good way my DNA? And this is the most exciting story in the wellness revolution that we're in right now. And our company, LifeVantage, is pioneering this. So these are things you're going to be seeing and hearing more about now that you're getting this information. You're at the forefront of something. And LifeVantage started this conversation back in 2004 when it's a publicly traded company. It trades on the NASDAQ. It's been on the NASDAQ for about 5 years. It's now doing about 200 million in sales, and about 70% of that is just from that product, Protandim Nerve 2 activation, that was on that ABC News report. So this is an incredible product that started out in retail. It actually was sold through 10,000 pharmacies, starting in 2005 through 2009. And when looking at trends and looking at what's happening in the wellness industry, is that most supplements are actually sold online. Believe it or not, Amazon is the largest retailer of supplements in the world now. They actually have their own supplement line they just came out with. So this is going to completely revolutionize the way that people buy things, is from online. And so LifeVantage saw this earlier, and they said, this retail thing isn't going to work. We've looked at Vitamin Shop going out of business, GNC is closing its stores, all the retail sector that's changing, and they made a decision in 2009 to shift gears, which was absolutely brilliant to do that. And one of the unique value propositions we have as a company is that we actually have 173,000 studies or more that we can look to talk about that condition of oxidative stress now. Back in 2005, there weren't that many research studies on this. This is a new area that's being looked at, this condition of rusting inside the cells, which is how we age. It's really the free radical theory of aging. And it is that free radicals cause oxidative stress in the body just from breathing in air, and it's related to over 200 diseases. So doctors aren't measuring oxidative stress like they measure cholesterol, like they measure glucose levels, because there isn't anything that they know of to stop it. And it literally is the reason that we're aging, and the reason that we get diseases is caused from this oxidative damage. So if you can look at pubmed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health, you can see any disease or condition that you're interested in that might affect your family, and how oxidative stress is connected to that. So LifeVantage, since 2005, when they started selling in stores, has had a significant amount of research that's been published. And there are now 23 peer-reviewed published studies from different universities that are also affiliated with the National Institute of Health, which have been funded not by LifeVantage. So this is really interesting to be in a company that has this type of research. And this is not normal. So when you start looking up supplements online, you're not going to find research on virtually any supplement that's out there. So this is a new way to validate. Other companies are going to have to do the same thing. So when you start looking at how business is being done in the 21st century, specifically in 2018, we're at a time when things are moving very quickly. So we can't sit back and let time fly by without taking advantage of looking at where sectors are growing. We've seen huge explosions in these sectors using technology and using where entrepreneurs and consumers come together. So you're seeing Facebook, where people are doing all kinds of business on Facebook. You're seeing Uber, where people need to make extra money, and somebody that has a consumer wants to be able to get a car ride without having to talk to anybody. This is an incredible platform now that we're able to use. Amazon, the same thing. Completely disrupting how we shop, even for food now. Having no assets from an entrepreneur's perspective, driving an Uber, really not having to do a whole lot other than get past a certain test to be able to drive a car and be able to be in business automatically. And this is what we're talking about today with LifeVantage. We're talking about people getting into business to talk about the supplement sector and why LifeVantage has a unique value proposition that nobody else has, to connect customers, networks of customers, to networks of entrepreneurs. And that idea alone should make us $1 billion business. Seriously, right now we're at $200 million in sales. We should already be just like this. I have an idea. I run $1 billion company. Seriously, because the idea of Nerve-2 activation has not permeated society yet. We have a foothold on this better than any other company. So we literally are going to be $1 billion company, and it's just a matter of time. And so people that want to participate in the technology sector, in the wellness revolution, have an opportunity right now to do that. And so we're disrupting the supplement sector. We're saying we have something different that's going to permanently change the way people buy supplements. They're not going to look at vitamins because they're not effective. They're going to look at activators that change gene expression. And so unless something can be proven, people aren't going to believe it anymore. And within 5 years, most supplements are going to have to prove out that they actually do what they say they do. And I want you guys to understand, I've been following technology because I'm really interested in this. In my insurance business, I was following it, and it's very slow. It's somewhat of an antiquated industry, but there's some things changing now. But in the wellness sector, the way that people are connected all over the world, just look at Amazon. It's completely changing the way that people do business. And you can see where exponential trends, where there's significant amount of growth using technology versus a linear trend, which is like a grocery store, right? Or a retail store. Now you have a totally different situation where companies that are using technologies are going to have an exponential trend. And that's where there's a disruption. And that means opportunity for us in business. And that's what we are presenting right now. We're looking at where there's a disruptive stress, where people are changing the way they do things. And in the supplement side, they're going to change what they're going to buy. Once they find out there's stuff like this out here that they can do that can change their gene expression to prevent diseases and other conditions in the body, they're going to want to participate and start using products like this. So here's something that's totally mind-boggling to me, because when we're in business using social media and the internet today, I'm in Park City, Utah. We have people from all over the place, and people are going to watch the recorded video. There's 3.8 billion people connected to the internet right now throughout the world. Within about 5 years, the entire world will be connected on the internet. The entire world will be able to have access to this type of information. And that means the whole world is going to be looking at what we have, and we're going to share it with them if we're smart. So I am all in to start using technology in a more efficient way. And so is LifeVantage, as this company that's building huge technology platforms to help us build our business. So because we have such a unique story, we're going to be able to go head and shoulders above most other nutrition companies because of the fact that we have no market saturation on our product. People don't know anything about Nerve-2 activation yet. We have 11 patents to protect our formula, which is a very unique formula. I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a minute. We have a really cool story where we didn't start out in direct sales. We actually were a retail company, and we shifted gears. So we didn't start out like some normal network marketing company that just got into this to just figure out what product to put in a network. Not at all. We are so lucky. It's like sitting on a gold mine right now that this came into a distribution model where we can actually be business people in this. So right now, when they measure the sector of wellness and anti-aging, when we first ran this report, it was about 300 billion. And there are other reports now saying it's twice that. Literally within the last year, it's 600 billion is the calculation over the next 10 years is how big it's going to be and where money is going to be able to be made and products are going to be sold. And the supplement part of that is 30 billion. And that's really where we are. We're in the actual supplement nutraceutical sector. We're also in weight loss. We have weight management products that are scientifically validated to burn visceral fat in the body, which is the toxic fat that is actually causes cardiovascular disease and other conditions. We also have an incredible skincare line, and then we have an energy executive functioning line. It's a very small line of products, but very deeply researched. And so where we are as a company right now, which is the most important thing to me, when I think about a business, we could all just be users of these amazing products and not get involved in the company. That would be a no-brainer. I mean, I was all in the minute I got this information to be using that Protandim Nerf 2, and now I'm using their other products. But when I looked at the company and where the company was, and I started researching this as a financial, as really as an investor in myself, which is what's Amy going to do for the next 5 years that's going to be really worthwhile when I look back in time and say, I was 51 when I saw this information. What else could I do that would be as meaningful as this? And is this company at a time in this type of business model that is going to allow me and thousands of other people to be able to become successful? That's what I wanted to know. So we are in the pioneering stage of this right now. We're still in formulation. We're literally still at 200 million, sitting where that star is. So until we get to about 300 million in sales per year, we won't hit what's called momentum, where 80% of the growth in the company takes the company into this stratosphere of $1 billion. And when you start looking at other companies and you study the market of direct sales and you see where companies were, like let's just look at Nu Skin, which is one of the most successful publicly traded direct sales companies in the world. They do about 2.4 billion a year in sales. And they started in 1984. 5 years later, they were doing about $4 million a month. And within 2 years after that, they hit momentum and started doing 52 million a month. They've still continued to grow to where they're doing 2.4 billion a year. But I'm telling you, this is what happens to companies that hit momentum and that are solid financially, which we are. We're very financially stable company. So we're still at about 70,000 distributors worldwide. And that's nothing compared to what we would need to be to hit momentum. So we are in a very unique place. And this is our line of products. And this is what I love about our company. It's not complicated in the sense there's not a lot to learn about each. There's a lot of science with each product, but we don't have that many products that we have to learn. It's very simple. But each of these products on its own accord could get to $1 billion just because of how good they are. The reorder rate on these is huge. And now what's amazing is they've taken this and they put it into what's called a stack, a vitality stack. This is our biohacking protocol that everyone that understands the importance of all this working together is taking this stack. And this is the simplicity of how we're building our business, you guys. This is this is our daily stack. This is your business right here with a high rate of reorder, like 85% reorder. If people use this for at least 90 days, they're going to get a reorder rate that's that high. You don't have to resell this stuff. So we have our Protandim Nerf 1 and Nerf 2. I'm going to talk about those. We have our probiotic, which is second to none in the industry for our gut, healing our microbiome, and then we have our omega fish oil, which is for our brain and our heart. So this is the daily stack. And then of course you've got your skincare, and if you care about your dog, you're putting them on Protandim. And if you need to lose some weight, we do have some other products. So this is what our business is foundationally built on. Our core product that's doing about 70% of all our sales is Protandim Nerf 2 that has the 23 peer-reviewed studies. New category. I had a call with a scientist today that started looking this up. People are blown away when they learn about Nerf 2 activation. It's a protein that is responsible to turn on the cellular enzymes that protect the cell from free radical damage, which is how we age. So if we can slow down the free radicals, we slow down aging. And by the way, Protandim is the only supplement proven to extend life in a mouse right now. We don't have a human study on life extension because it will take too long to get the results. We're the ones doing the human studies, taking this stuff right now. And I can just tell you that from a health perspective, it has completely changed my life from where I was 5 years ago with my Lyme disease condition, just from taking the Protandim Nerf 2. And then I started adding the other products, and it's just been amazing. So what we have is a natural product with 5 ingredients that have been used for thousands of years. What's unique about this is the synergy of the ingredients make this activate Nerf 2 more powerfully, that protein that turns on those enzymes in your cell to protect it from free radicals, more than anything else right now that's been proven to do that. So until something else better is proven to show that this has a better NRF2 activation and results of reducing oxidative stress, we are ahead of everybody right now. And there's enough room for a lot of companies in this, so I'm not worried about competition at all. We're just, this is like Coca-Cola. Is anybody drinking a different type of Coke? Not really. So I'm seeing people just taking Protandim for a really, really long time. And of course, we're always improving products. So we may come out with different iterations of this. We're not just sitting back, resting on our laurels. We do have human studies on Protandim. We also have mammal and animal studies on our Pet Tandem, which is our animal product, which has double-blind, placebo-controlled studies to show that same formula that we use for humans does amazing things in animals as well, which is really cool. 78 million people in the United States have at least one dog. So we certainly know we have a category as an add-on product. We now came out with a partner to our NRF2 product. It's called NRF1, and that is for the energy inside your cell. It's called mitochondria. It's like a little power plant inside your cells that actually creates 80% of all the energy to your body. And this is huge. As you age, it starts to slow down, making more of these little energy powerhouses. They just kind of peter out, and that's why people get tired. So if we can activate, there's a protein called NRF1 that regulates the production of mitochondria to regenerate itself. Can you imagine? The DNA of the mitochondria, the little powerhouse, is regenerating itself like you were a teenager, and all of a sudden you have more energy. So if you're an athlete, you're going to recover more quickly from your workouts. If you're somebody who's tired, you're going to have more energy. If you have adrenal fatigue, or if you have brain fatigue, or any of those organ fatigue that just breaks your body down, mitochondria is hugely important for the energy for the brain and the heart specifically. 80% of that mitochondria is really brain and heart related. So we want to have something that helps to regenerate that. So this is a huge new category. So we have a 1-2 punch with the NRF2 for the cellular aging, and the NRF1 to make the cells regenerate and have more energy. Okay, so this is what everybody cares about: improving human performance with natural plant-based ingredients that are proven in science to do what we say they're going to do. So you're going to turn back the clock. And let me tell you something. You know how many people have mitochondrial dysfunction in this country, particularly children and people that are aging and people who have things like Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's. Okay, those are huge epidemics right now. Kids with autism, ADHD, bad food, bad health because they have so many chemicals in their bodies. The children are all screwed up and they have mitochondrial dysfunction. So we're recommending this to everybody. We can't make claims around children. You have to talk to your doctor about this. Talk to the person that invited you on. You can learn more about this. New category, NRF2 activation for the skin. Just imagine upregulating in your largest organ, your skin, the ability to have less free radical damage and age less quickly. This is what we're talking about. Slowing down the aging process, literally, not just so you look better, but you're actually slowing down the aging of your skin, which is going to make you healthier and have less probability of getting certain skin conditions. So this is huge. 91% of the people that used this in our clinical trial said they were going to buy it again in a 56-day trial. There were 86 women from different ethnic groups. 91% of them said they were going to use it again. That is absolutely unheard of. Everybody needs to use this product and try it for at least a month or 2 months, and then you're going to get a 91% reorder rate. So that's pretty cool. I'm just talking to you guys about this stuff because this is really an important part of our business, and I want to give you the whole story, not just a little part. The other thing that's interesting about our skincare, again, we have scientific research and patents that show what this does in skin tissue, and literally goes down 6 to 7 layers under the skin and starts to thicken the dermis and the epidermis of the skin. It's like thicker skin. My skin used to be so much thinner and crepier. I mean, I just put this stuff on my face and it just absorbs in, and I just know that I'm doing something really good, and I absolutely love it. I haven't changed what I've been using at all because it works so well. And I used to spend a lot of money on skincare. I can show you guys my bills. It was really bad. All amazing ingredients. And what's really cool about this, you guys know, you're watching what's happening. Milk thistle, turmeric, bacopa, these brassicas, like cruciferous vegetables. That's what our products are, that's what these are made of. It's incredible. All of these products now, and these food groups are huge outside of our company. People are eating turmeric every day. I had a turmeric milk this morning. I mean, I don't take it when I take my Protandim. I take it a couple hours later, but I have extra turmeric. I love having cruciferous vegetables. I'll make them for dinner tonight. These are really incredible nerve 2 activating ingredients. So you should be eating these things anyway. And the other part of what we have is it's been so well developed without any sulfates, parabens, no benzenes, there's no fuel or artificial fragrances in our products. And that is incredible to me because I don't want anything artificial in my body if I can avoid it. We also have a brain executive functioning product. Total game changer, activates nerve 2 activation in your brain to have your neurons connect better so that you can have more focus, which so many of us are just brain dead from having too much going on in our lives. So this is a beautiful product. Everybody loves this that uses it, and it doesn't make you crash. So you're just cruising along, you're feeling great, you use it, you put it in water, it's all natural, it's delicious. It's a stevia sweetener, which is also proven to activate nerve 2 protein that protects your cells from oxidative stress. So unbelievable products. I don't really have time to go through each one of these, but I do want to spend just a couple minutes here on our probiotics so you guys understand. This is a new category of product that is time released. So there's thousands of probiotics on the market right now. Very few of them have time release technology. So the majority of probiotics, only about 5% of those colony forming units, the CFUs, are getting down into the lower intestine, which is where they need to go to help heal the gut and the lining of the gut. It's all feeding those critters way down in your lower intestine. Now, if only 5% is getting there, the rest of it's getting eaten up in the stomach acid. So you're just throwing money out the window. With this, you get a 12-hour time release. So you get about 60% or more of the CFUs going to the lower intestine. And that's validated by the company that we buy this little coating. It's called BioTract. It's a $300 million research company that spent $300 million to prove that this is what you want to put as a coating for time releasing in a natural way on a supplement. We put that on there. We spend extra for it. It's incredible. We also have something that boosts your immune system called Wellmune, which is something that's in Emergency even has that in there now in some of their products. They charge more for it, that little drink that people drink. You want to look at Wellmune. It's incredible. It boosts your immune system. Does anyone need that right now? Did anybody watch the flu epidemic this year? So I'm telling you guys, total game changer. Everybody needs to take this. What that equals is a business that has reorders, and that's what we're looking for us to have a solid business. So I'm not going to go through any more of our products. That's really the line, basically, other than the weight management, which I would have to spend more time on. Total game changer as well. So I'm showing you guys this. This is our business. This is how I've grown. I did 10 million last year in my organization. When people want to get involved in this, certainly they can become a customer and they buy products from us. They're going to buy these online through a dedicated website that you're going to get that the company creates for you. It literally, the minute you sign up as a distributor, you're going to have your own website. It's going to be personal to you. You can load your photograph on there. So professionally put together, incredible website. And if you want to be involved in the company as a distributor, the company gives us options, which is fabulous. Everybody is at a different place in their life and the company. And so what we like to do is be able to share with people, there's different ways that people can get involved in this. And basically, most of the people that come on board that are very serious about this want to start off with enough product that they can sample and share with their friends, family, and potential customers. And they usually will buy a platinum distributorship. You also get VIP status at the company, and it gives you some little bonuses. I don't have time to get into that, but to start a multi-million-dollar business, it's $1,250 for our biggest business. Anywhere you can come in is great. We can share with you how each one of these packs, how it's designed, what products are in there. And I'll just show you guys what's called an earnings claim statement. This is where the company says to Wall Street, we're going to show you what our distributors are earning based on our sales. Most companies can't provide this that are in direct sales with accurate numbers. Most of them are privately held. They don't have to provide to show what distributors are earning. So people are making really nice incomes in this company based on the amount of time that they're putting into this. Not everybody wants to spend a tremendous amount of time building a residual income. I decided that that was a really good income stream that I wanted to have. So I decided to focus on this and just do the little things every day to build a business. Super easy to do. And we train everybody, so it's not hard to figure out how to do this. But essentially, within 3.5 years, I was in Elite Pro 9. The average income a monthly is around $42,000. And on the lowest is 16,500. So it's amazing what can be done in a short period of time if you put the time in and you follow a system. And we actually have something called the Proven Plan, that is a plan that executes every step of the way what you're going to do to grow your business, and you don't have to recreate the wheel. And this is what we did, and many of us that have been successful are following the system. We have 8 different ways we get paid. I'm not going to go into all those with you, but I just want you guys to understand that there's ranks that you hit each time you have volume in your business. It's not just what you're doing, it's what people underneath you are producing. So you have your team of people that you're initially going to get involved with, and then from there, you're going to help those people to grow their teams. And it just continues to grow. And so like the first level that you look to hit is 1,000 in volume from you. And you saw the products. This Vitality Stack is $151. You know, that's added into that volume. How many people are using that every month? Average income is around 10% of whatever your volume in your whole group is. That's kind of an average benchmark. So it's a nice way to just kind of look at what your averages are. I don't have time to go through all that, but just I'll go through the first piece of it, which is that when you enroll as a distributor, you're going to put yourself in a position to earn commissions on new orders. So on this order right here, you've got, you know, somebody that signs up for this. Everything has a point value. This has 120 points of commission value. You earn 40% of whatever the point value is. If it's 100 points, you earn $40 the first time someone buys something. After that, it falls into a unilevel, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And this to me was why I signed up to be in the business instead of just a customer. Because I grew an insurance and an investment business that I was able to monetize over the 25 years that I built it, so that when I walked away at age 50 to be home with my son, who was 12 at the time, to kind of be around a little bit more while he was in middle school and high school, I had a cash flow that I could live off of. Most of my friends didn't do that. They were like a lawyer, or they're, you know, a pharmaceutical sales or whatever they're doing. They didn't have income. They could just walk away from their business. And I did. And I said, you know what? I want to do that again. And I want to show other people how to do that in a much easier business model than financial services, which has a tremendous amount of risk associated with it. Here's what it is, guys. You get paid 9 levels down in your organization. So when somebody buys this anywhere in your downline, 9 levels, you're going to get a little piece of it every sale. And so what happens is over time, your organization grows and it gets wider and deeper, and you start to pick up checks on that. So the first month, the company pays 40% to whoever enrolled the new customer. And the next month and thereafter, every month there's an order, they take 43%, or 43 cents of every dollar, and they divide that between 9 people. Instead of just giving 40% to one person, the next month they pay 43 cents for every dollar in sale. And they divide it between 9 people that were involved in that sort of food chain. And no one makes any money unless there's a sale. So it's not a pyramid scheme. This is a very, very solid business model. And you see what happens over time. This is how people make a lot of money in direct sales, and especially when you have consumable product that's in the fastest growing sector in the industry, which is wellness right now. So I'm just telling you guys, this is the simplicity of what we're doing. It's all about duplication. Our goal is to show people how to come into this business, be a user of the products, buy your pack, buy your stack every month for yourself and your family, and then duplicate that. Get 5 people to do the exact same thing, and then get 10 customers and do it 3 levels down. That's all we're saying. Get 5 people that want to do this, what I'm telling you that I'm doing right now. Even if you have to talk to 200 people and you get 5 to say, I want to do that, big deal. That you could do that in a month or even faster. And then 10 customers from that. And that's all we're saying you need to do, and duplicate that 3 levels deep. 5 distributors and 10 customers, and you just duplicate that. And you see what starts to happen, and it starts to take off, and all of a sudden you have a huge business and the company gives you a Jeep, they give you the title to the car when you hit 100,000 a month, which happened to me in like 2 years. A lot of people, my team's earned about 8 Jeeps so far. So I'm telling you guys, this is actually really working. If you don't want the Jeep, you can get $25,000 in cash. So 4 pillars to a successful business. Any business that you're in is going to basically have the same pillars. I don't care what business you're in. You got to have a system you have to follow, right? So in this case, you're spending $1,250. You're not going out and buying a franchise or a McDonald's franchise for $1 million or some other where you have to sign a lease and hire people. You're basically looking at a blueprint, which is going to tell you how to run your business. And we're going to share that with you. It takes about an hour and a half to get trained on how to do this business. And then we're going to work with you to show you how to duplicate your business. And we're going to work with your team and help them do the same thing, which is what we're doing right now. I'm working with my team and you guys are all on here and you're a part of my team. Or maybe you're not yet, but hopefully you will be. We have an event cycle. This is an event. You're on one right now. It's a webinar. You show up for events. We go away every 3 months and we get trained together. You go to those. There's a monthly training in cities around the country. You go to that once a month. Okay, that's it. So you do every 3 months, you go to a training. Once a month, you go to a training, and then you get on these when they're available, and you get on some calls, and you do it from your smartphone and your computer. And then hopefully you have people over your house once in a while. That's an event. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Not everybody's building their business that way. This is a beautiful way to build your business online, but this is a person and a relationship business. We're building a family. I like having business meetings. We love getting together. It's a lot of fun. That's the second piece. Core habits. What are you doing on a daily basis to grow your business? Just like anything. What are you doing to take care of your body? What are you doing to take care of your marriage? What are you doing to help your children become better people and grow up properly? Those little core habits, what are you doing to build your business? How many people are you going to talk to? Who are you going to show this to? We're going to show you all of this stuff and show you how to do it. And then personal growth and leadership development. These are the foundational pieces of a successful business. Any business that would require somebody to do certain things to be successful, which is every business. But how many opportunities do you have to learn something like this that's in a technology-based business model that is going to continue to pay you after you spend time building it? That's what's different about this. And I don't know where you're going to find it anywhere else for $1,250. So we start people out, we look at the first 30 days, and we basically get them started and get them trained right away to show them how to do this with us. And it's super simple, but it does require a tremendous amount of courage because people have to be open to doing something a little different than they've done before. And for me, I was ready for something different. And I was excited about nutrigenomics and biohacking. I like the idea of helping people with their health because I've always been interested in that. I also like helping people build wealth because I've always been interested in that as well. So this is how it worked out for me. It's not for everybody, you guys, but I'm just telling you, this has been one of the most extraordinary experiences I've had in my life, certainly as a professional. I've learned more, I've grown more as a person, as a leader, working with people, because what's unique about this business that I didn't really understand is that the only way that I can be successful is to help other people succeed. I didn't have that in my other industry, where I was maybe competing with other insurance agents in an office, for example. It was me, how can I outperform the other guy? It wasn't how can I help the other person to be more successful. So I know that a lot of you guys probably have to struggle with that in your jobs, worrying about job security, worrying about just other people maybe taking your job. That's not what we have here. This is a collaboration. We're working as a team and we're helping each other to be as good as we can possibly be as a friend, as a mentor, and as a business owner. So that's what we're doing. I'm so honored to be with you guys today. I know I kind of blew through this really quickly. Hopefully I've given you guys a good bit of information. And if you have any questions, I'm not going to open it up for questions. I'm going to stop the recording first and then I'll open it up for questions afterwards. But I just want to thank you, and whoever invited you on this webinar does care deeply about you and actually really wants to make the world a better place. That's what we're up to. So, you should feel honored to be on with us today, and I'm honored to have you guys here. So I just want to say thank you.